Perfect.
So this is the first video that I've produced for IdeaBlock, which is a new startup that I'm just now kind of coming out and telling everyone about. We've been around for about a year, and we've spent that year building our product for protecting intellectual property in a really new way, a really cool way that I can't wait to tell you about. So what we do is we use blockchain to kind of tether your idea into this undeniable source of truth, which is called a blockchain. And the ones that we use, Bitcoin and Litecoin at the moment, are very, very strong, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So what we do is we timestamp intellectual property or ideas that people have, and we can do it instantly and forever, so that there's always proof that you had that idea at the time that you uploaded it, right? And this, we have different tools that I'm going to tell you about a little bit further in further detail in later videos, but we can help people who have works of art. So you talk about copyrights, or people who have trademarks that they'd like to protect to show that they were using the trademark in commerce on a certain date. We also have a really cool tool for protecting trade secrets in a way that you don't have to disclose the actual trade secret to us, but we still provide protection for you. And another cool set of tools that we have is for patent protection. So you think of, most people think of patent protection, they think of things like gears in a car, or an engine, or something either physical like that, or processes that are able to be patented along a manufacturing process, for example, or drugs, right? New drugs get patented, and that temporary monopoly gives those companies a monopoly over the entire huge market share for these products. So it's a huge deal. Well, the problem is, for the last century, and especially in the last few decades, costs for getting intellectual property in the more formal way, patents, copyrights, and trademarks, and especially defending those, has become exorbitantly expensive, and really pushes people out of playing the game, right? So you think of the kind of the American dream is that you can take an idea from conception, this small idea, and bring it to market in the form of a product, or a song, or an album, or artwork, painting, or anything, and kind of take that and bootstrap yourself up in society and give yourself a life and a way to make money and pay for your kids' college and get yourself a house, and all you really need, according to this kind of American dream, is access to this kind of protection, right? And that's kind of gone away for a lot of people, right? So, for example, in 2017, the average cost of a United States patent, so just one, and only in the United States, was $60,000 over its lifetime. So we're talking paying lawyers to, for example, write the patent application, paying fees to the government for examining that patent application and giving you the patent, and then paying fees over the course of the patent's lifetime to keep it active, right? And that's a big chunk of change, especially for people who are just starting out and trying to get out there on the market, get a product built, get a company built. The last thing on their minds a lot of time is protecting the idea that's the core principle of their business, right? And a lot of times, and I've seen it comes back to bite them. In like 10 years, if there's someone else out there that has a patent or some other form of intellectual property that covers this product that they've worked so hard on, they can have it ripped from their hands via the courts, and sometimes at the hands of what's called a troll. So someone who's not even in their market, but just has purchased a really broad patent that they're suing everyone with, and they really don't have any recourse against that person or that company that's asserting the patent against them. So what is really great about IdeaBlock is that using blockchain and using these cool new technologies that are still in the early stage of their kind of life cycle is that we leverage them to provide kind of crowdsourced truth or crowdsourced time truth to show that someone had an idea at a certain time and that they have a claim on that idea, right? So you can imagine if one of these trolls comes by this startup that's used IdeaBlock, instead of paying the hundreds of $1,000s ransom or dragging them to court and try to invalidate the patent on their own without much evidence other than maybe a lab notebook or maybe a picture from way back that hopefully has some kind of time written on it or something like that, or is time stamped in some way, and you get a judge that believes it, you're kind of in between a rock and a hard place. But what IdeaBlock does is it gives you the power of these immutable, unchangeable blockchains in your corner. So you can go to these trolls and go back to them and say, hey, that's great, you've got this patent, but unfortunately it's invalid, and unless you want me to invalidate it right this second, you should be paying me that ransom. So that's a pretty powerful switching the tables up there, and we're excited to tell you more about how you do that and to get you using IdeaBlock and using the beta, and we can't wait to show it to you in a little more detail in further videos. But I just wanted to introduce kind of the principle behind what we're doing here at IdeaBlock, and we'll get into some of those products soon. So as a little teaser, we're gonna have a track where we talk a little bit about blockchain. Okay, what is blockchain, and before we actually apply it, tell you a little bit about the technology so that you can understand exactly how we leverage it, right? It's a really complicated technology, but at the end of the day, when you understand it, you look back and you think, oh, it's actually not that complicated. It's really just a ledger, like your bank ledger, but has a lot of computer power verifying it at all times around the clock, right? And then we'll have a track that tells a little bit about intellectual property law and what is a patent, what is a trademark, what is a copyright, what is a trade secret, why are all of these things worth protecting and worth getting for your company. But not only that, why should we be paying this amount of money that these traditional forms of intellectual property protection often cost to protect an idea and get a business built around this idea? Well, hopefully you'll see after we kind of talk about the tech side and the legal side and bring them both together for you, you'll see why IdeaBlock brings a new, valuable, really cool solution to the table where you no longer have to be subject to these trolls. You no longer have to be subject to these huge fees to get things started up. You can kind of bootstrap yourself in a way, using IdeaBlock to protect yourself defensively. You're not going to be going out using IdeaBlock offensively where you're going to go sue everyone that's in your marketplace like you would if you had an enforceable patent, for example. Now, you can get a patent. IdeaBlock doesn't bar you from going on and at the same time trying to get an offensive form like a patent, a copyright, trademark, or use a trade secret strategy. But it works in conjunction with those typical forms of intellectual property protection in a really cool way. So it kind of fills in the Swiss cheese holes, I guess, to kind of make it a stronger, fully rounded product, and so people can form more wide strategies and stronger strategies to protect their ideas. And this goes for companies as well. We know a lot of the time in the last 10 minutes I've been talking about how can a startup or an individual working in their garage use IdeaBlock, but I think the strongest use case is for corporations that are already producing these huge swaths of IP and ideas and making these products, and they've already built their companies. Now, how can we maximize that intellectual property and identify it really and organize it, a lot of times automatically, with kind of the products that we've built already. But how can we use IdeaBlock to kind of complement the processes we already have in a way that's not going to cause us or force us to change what we're already doing, but just really make it stronger and buttress those existing processes. So look forward to some new videos here coming up. I'm going to try to release them pretty frequently, but we're going to do kind of the tech track, the legal track, and then the IdeaBlock specific stuff where we can talk about different products and how they relate to these different kinds of intellectual property that we talk about, to really harden and really cement up the holes that exist in the traditional idea protection market. We think we have something pretty cool here, and we really can't wait to tell you about it and talk to you and build our community around here, so we can really make it the IP protection, the idea protection market better for everyone using technology. So stay tuned. I will be posting some more stuff soon. I think I'm going to start out with a little bit about blockchain, a little bit about probably patent law, and kind of build on those. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I have all the contact information in my profile, and look forward to talking to you, and hopefully you'll stick around for some of the more nuanced videos and some of these things where we really go in and dig in deep and make the use case for IdeaBlock. So thanks for stopping by. Talk to you soon.